Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to my channel. My name is Ange Girardi, and today I'm going to be talking about something called steady love. And I know last year a big part of my year was practicing consistency. And for me, it's a lifelong practice because naturally, I'm a very creative person. I'm very spontaneous and fiery and airy, if you want to look at my astrology. Um, so, consistency, is not my strongest suit. And so practicing steady love is along the same lines, practicing consistency in love. And this is especially important when you are in relationships that have lasted a while and life happens and all kinds of trials and tribulations come to pass in your life or in your loved one's life, and this can put a strain on the relationship. It can put a strain on the way that you see the other person, or the way the other person sees you, or perhaps something happens where there's some trust that is broken. And so this concept and this practice of steady love is, through forgiveness, I would say forgiveness, compassion, and faith, in knowing that love really supersedes all. Love conquers all. And in a relationship that is committed and devoted, and you're in it for the long haul, it's really important to come back to that premise of hope, faith, forgiveness, and devotion, and just letting love be. I know last time I was in Edinburgh and I was talking about the water of the tides and of the sea washing away old stories, washing away what is kind of ready to fall away. Yesterday was the lunar eclipse. It was really, really potent. There was some really beneficial aspects to it with Jupiter in Cancer, but there's just been an overwhelming, in a good way, amount of shedding and releasing. But again, talking about water, right? Like, water helps to wash away what you're letting go, but it reminds me of water in, like, love being like a fountain, and that it can transmute all ill. And I think that begins first and foremost within our own bodies, within our own heart. And when it comes from the heart, when we first love ourselves, right? And because we all know in any kind of tribulation, it always takes two to tango, and whatever hardships may occur in a loving relationship, everyone plays a part. And so forgiving yourself for whatever part you may have played, I think, is number one. And then forgiving the other and allowing love to transmute any resentment, any regret or guilt or judgment, or especially fear, right? Fear is fear is a poison, in my opinion. Fear is the devil, in my opinion. Satan, negative entity, however you want to think of that. And we were in Scotland for 2 weeks. It was amazing. And I like to read the Bible, but I didn't bring it because it is so ginormous. I have this Orthodox study Bible, and I just picked it up tonight because in the midst of moving houses, I haven't moved my bedroom yet, but I opened up the dresser and I was like, yes, I need to turn to this tonight. And I love this passage. This is 1 Peter 4:7. And so, above all things, have fervent love for one another, for love will cover a multitude of sins. Be hospitable to one another without grumbling. As each one has received a gift, minister to one another as good stewards of the manifold grace of God. And so this is about serving, right? And to me, that's part of steady love, right? Like, if you can feed the one you love, like physically feed, like make a nice meal and feed the one you love, there is something so gracious about that. Or do any act of kindness or serve them in whatever way you know. For me, feeding is a big one. Doing something that is your gift to give, right? And this could be with a coworker. This could be with whoever person that you are committed and devoted to. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be your child. It could be your husband. It could be your brother. It could be your neighbor, your sister. So I just want to repeat that again. And above all things, have fervent love for one another, for love will cover a multitude of sins. And this is the premise that we're all, there's this book by Elizabeth Lesser called Broken Open, and she says we're all bozos on the bus, right? We all make mistakes. We all commit errors, and to let that be covered with love and to let it be washed, it will cover a multitude of sins, right? But to have forgiveness in your heart for yourself and for your loved one, and let love rise above any animosity and any ill will. And so again, that is 1 Peter 4, chapter 4, verse 8. But steady love, love is not perfect. Love is not pristine. Love is not it's messy. Real love, human love, it's messy. And if you give yourself that break, give yourself the break of knowing that it's okay to be messy. Be honest about it, though, and don't make it a habit, right? Learn from it, reflect on it, contemplate it, say sorry, do better, and be loving. Be loving with yourself, be loving with others, and serve. Give your gift to the world. Don't hold it back, Don't hold it back, and it allows expansions. It allows shift. It allows a shift, a pivot, right? in healing, right? One of my teachers says, say hello. Like when you're looking at your aura, right? You're looking at your energy body, you're examining what's there, right? I do a lot of spiritual and energy work, right? And so instead of like judging what you see, say hello. Hello there, energy that looks a little tight and knotted and tense, or looks a little bruised, whatever it may be. Saying hello to it, it's like 99% of the healing, right? It's just saying hello. Takes the fear away. It takes the fear of having to face something uncomfortable. So try it. Be steady in your love, or tell me how have you witnessed or experienced steady love? Yes. And we're going to get back on track with our coffee clatches. I'm going to announce the next coffee clatch and would love to see anyone in the area who wants to get together for some conversation and something warm to drink. And I think that's all for announcements. But thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you for giving your time and energy, and have a wonderful evening. March is around, or spring is around the corner with all its fervent ferocity, I'm gonna say. Lots of good things coming. Much love. Ciao for now. Mwah.